to preach this word, man, to teach this truth. All right, especially if you have the names and the doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. All right. In the KJV, I mean the NLT, Isaiah 58. Isaiah 58 and 1, shout with the voice of a trumpet blast. All right, it says shout with the voice of a trumpet blast. All right, we're supposed to, talk loud and extend our voices out there to the masses so they can understand and perceive it. All right. So let's keep reading. It says shout aloud, don't be timid. All right, let's look up that word timid right here. Define. Basically, don't be weak. Showing, it says, showing a lack of courage or confidence, easily frightened. All right, and the Lord told us that, we have to ultimately prepare ourselves for, hey, what's about to come. All right, the persecution, mainly from our own people. All right, the ridicule and the slandering that our people, have about us. All right, the Lord said, don't be timid, don't be weak-minded. All right, you got to take off that weak nature. At the end of the day, we have one specific job that Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah told us to do and allowed us to do through the Spirit. All right, and that's to teach. All right, teach this word in truth and sincerity so that the elect can be saved and delivered. And the rest of the 2/3, they're ass out. So they're not going to hearken and they're not going to listen. All right, to the voice of the Lord, man. So let's keep it going. And tell my people Israel of their sins. All right, we got to tell our people, stop trusting in Babylon the Great, America. Stop committing the sins that you're committing on a day-to-day basis. All right, serving other gods, serving, idol worship and, all those other things. Ultimately, trusting in oppression, trusting in a white boy Jesus. All right, because our people still have that Stockholm syndrome lodged into their spirits, man. Because ultimately, through the Spirit, the Lord did not require them to receive this truth at the end of the day.
Yeah, a lot going on, man. Okay, we're saying, man, Trump, more, pushing full throttle. Okay, to say, when it comes to deploying troops, okay, amongst the tribes. Okay, we see what's going on over there in Chicago, okay, in Washington, D.C., okay, Memphis. They talking about going into Portland, Oregon. Okay,
and I think
Charlotte, which eventually going to be, a national wide thing when it comes to these states here in America when it comes to martial law. Okay, it's still up under the government shutdown. Okay, they're leading to more and more financial woes. So we in these times, man.
This is we get Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter.
The wind blew that.
I'm gonna start at 1, and I'm gonna read on to verse 7. All right, it says, moreover, he said unto me, son of man, eat that thou findest, eat this roll, and go speak unto the house of Israel. All right, our whole objective, especially when you open up unto this truth, you ought to go out and preach and teach the house of Israel, preaching and teaching that the kingdom of heaven is surely at hand. All right, have faith. All right, look forward towards a world filled with righteousness, man, instead of just folly and certified wickedness. All right, but that's all this world promotes. All right, folly, wickedness, all right, mirth, and in the worst times to be living, man. But ultimately, everybody catching that hell, man. All right. This is verse 2. So I opened my mouth, and he called me to eat that roll. All right, and that's through the Spirit. The Lord calls us to eat the roll of His truth. All right, the Lord put that spirit upon us, and that's what Water Yahweh Shah for waking us up to the madness and plugging us out of the matrix. Because everybody, a majority of the people are still asleep, talking about our people. We don't care about the heathens. Majority of the people, or the 2/3, they're going to remain asleep, and they still are asleep, man. Until death by pain. They should know it after death by pain. But meanwhile, you have the prophets out here B times early. Going back in Jeremiah and also 2nd Chronicles, the 36th chapter, verse 15. All right, on down to 16, and eventually, sooner or later, the prophets are not going to be out here on the street corners anymore, dealing with the famine of the word. That's also in the talk of Donald Trump, dealing with his policies and his administration. All right, that is the time that we're living in. We're living in the time of Esau's rulership ending, crumbling. So that means America is about to be thrown out the window. It's not going to be no more America, man. All right, this place is going to be utterly destroyed in the next up and coming World War III. All right, martial law, civil war, all these calamities is going to happen, man, because of the wickedness on the planet Earth. All right, and we're seeing, though it tarry, wait for it, for it will surely come. It will not tarry. These prophecies are not tarrying anymore, man. All right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. All right, and we're grateful for that, because we don't have to go through this bullshit any much longer.
The last captivity.
God.
Romans chapter 13, verse 11. And it says, and that knowing the time, that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Yeah, it's our salvation nearer than what we believe. Okay, so now it's high time to wake out of sleep, man. Okay, when it comes to that spiritual slumber, that majority of you Negro, Latino, and Native Americans are in. Okay? And you going into, man, thinking that this place is going to continue on. Okay, to prosper. We're coming in the time of holiday seasons. Okay? Holiday festivals. Okay, such as, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Eve. Okay? Thinking this place is going to prosper. Okay? But in the meantime, Yahweh Shah has his prophets out here to give that warning. Okay? Mainly start with the men of great millstone and the brother on down that's out there truly teaching. Okay? But a lot of our people know they scoff, they scorn, they make mockery. Okay? But at the same time, man, the Lord's men is out here praying that we're part of that number. Okay, to give that warning, man. Okay? To give warning of the coming of times of Jacob trouble. Okay, the coming up of financial crash. Okay, the coming up of the new system that is released when it comes to the Saudi Arabia. Okay, when they move forward with the end of the war. Okay, to bring in the RFID microchip, which is known as the mark of the beast, man. Okay, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. Okay, and start with the men of great millstone. Okay, we constantly have been there, giving that warning. Okay, but a lot of our people, they're not taking heed, but they still sleep. Okay, when it comes to the 2/3. Okay, what's going to be judged according to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Okay, we ain't need no time of playing more games, being in the spirit of mirth, living it up. Okay, and we getting closer and closer to this place of destruction. Okay, hey, look how fast this year done going. We're already in the 10th month.
2 more months down.
2 more months.
Yeah, it'll be next year, 2026. And it's only going to get worse, and we know that through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah. All right? And it's just crazy because, like I said, our people, man, all this stuff going on in the world, they still oblivious, man. And I remember an individual, I still got to do a video on that. The word ignorant is bliss. And a lot of our people, they low-key, they know what's up. They know what's going on in the planet Earth. They got a feeling that who the word ignorant calls Jesus Christ is coming back. They just don't know how he's going to return or what he's going to look like. But now, it's all types of evidence and information out here that Jesus, so-called Jesus, is not a fucking white man. All right? That's just point his name. And it ain't even his name. God. And like I said, I'm using that word just for the simple fact that's the masses of the people. And that's another thing. That's not his name. So correction. Yahweh Shah, a dark-skinned man, an entity from the tribe of Judah, is going to come back and bring judgment upon this planet Earth. He's going to judge these nations, these heathens. These nations, starting off with Esau, Edom, is going into captivity. You're going into slavery in the next life, man. All right, in the kingdom of heaven that's going to be on earth. Our people don't want to hear these things, but guess what? It's the truth. All right, and if you don't want to, receive it, you don't want to understand it. Hey, the Lord gonna deal with you. The same must know it after death by pain. It's a reason why it's a number called 2/3. Y'all just refuse to fucking listen. Meanwhile, like you said earlier, Trump is rolling in National Guard troops on the American citizens. These Edomites know that shit's wrong, but you Jakes, but y'all been done wrong your entire life. You know, all of us in a nutshell, but we know and understand that you're not trust this damn devil, man. So yeah, man, that's the time we living in. So I'm gonna get Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 1. I'm not. I'm straight. Appreciate it. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that rebellious children of Israel. All right, no matter what, Israel do not want to hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. All right, they always been hard-headed and stubborn. All right, that's why the Lord only cares about his elect. And the elect is the only one that's going to return to the mighty power of Israel, Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, and the rest is going to remain blinded until they be destroyed. And then in the kingdom of heaven, you know, dwell in righteousness, the new kingdom, all right, well, the new heavens and the new earth, new rulership. All right, when that comes into place, that's when all our people are going to be all righteous. All right, pursuing to Isaiah chapter 60, verse 21. But as of right now, only a remnant the Lord cares about and loves, man. And he's going to show salvation unto you, man. That's why it's important to endure to the very end. Praying that through that hope and fearful elect. Get Jeremiah right quick. Like I said, this is the mind state of our people. Our people do not like correction. All right. Ultimately, the Lord has not chosen all of Israel. Jeremiah chapter 6, verse 16. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, stand ye in the way and see, and enter the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein. All right, and the old paths and the good way, all right, is the way of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. All right, the way of following after the Bible, following after the laws, statutes, and commandments. All right, and for individuals that think this is a white man's book, all right, well, you guys shit talking to do, you can do that amongst your own accord. Other than that, don't even bother trying to conversate with this thing. Like I said, sooner or later, when this judgment happens unto you people, you're going to be crying and begging in agony for Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah to reveal those prophets unto you. Then it's going to be too late. All right, then you should know that a prophet have been among you. Like I said, it's going to be too late after that. And that's in Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33. Continuing on, therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we would not walk therein. Verse 17. This also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. But they said we would not hearken. All right, they're not listening. We tell our people that martial law is coming. They did not believe it. Hey, ask the people in Chicago, California, Memphis, and soon to come Charlotte, man. And also, I believe the state of South Carolina, man. All right, so this devil is really moving. All right, dealing with the insurrection act. All right, how about Yahweh Shai is gonna let this devil unleash holy hell on you Americans? All right, but at the same time, the American people is the problem, according to these devils. All right, or the prophets are a problem, because ultimately we speak truth. Speaking about the prophets, we speak truth. We let it be known, because this is would be considered as sedition. All right, treason. All right, so on and so forth. All right, being a traitor, violence, the T, domestic, DT, domestic, terror. All right, that's how they label us. But at the end of the day, man, hey, all we do is preach the words of Yahweh about Yahweh Shai, live our, our boring ass, whack ass lives, and we just keep the shit moving until the kingdom of heaven be established. Until the kingdom of heaven be established, man. That's all we waiting on. We understand that this is only a punishment. This is only temporarily, man. We don't want to be here any much longer, man. And that's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. We see the prophecies happen. All right, and we cannot wait till you people start to get like that horrific judgments start really happening on people on a large and a massive scale. All right.
All right.
Right, right.
Brothers are going into, which, typical Muslim Israelite things, whatever comes with him. Cesare, has lately always been on podcasts, okay, and individuals asking him about his religion, okay, him being a Hebrew Israelite, and a public figure of being a Hebrew Israelite, okay, and they asked me, next to them, that's going into like what's next? Okay, and instead of him going into destruction, Jacob trouble, I am okay, they sure Jacob trouble. So this is what it's fine for us. We got really care in ourselves. Okay? So we gotta wait on Yahweh Shai. Okay, this whole notion is that I got brothers, they got land, farming, building up cattle, trying to build something within, here in this system. Okay, showing you they comfortable, man. Okay, but a true prophet gonna give that stern warning. Okay, and we ain't in the time to be comfortable. Michael 2 and 10 going to that. This place is not our rest. Okay.
And ultimately, he's not, and he's not looking into the signs. He don't want this place to go down, because like I say, all this shit going on in the world. Meanwhile, hey, newsflash, government shutdown. Guess people forgot about that. I guess because it ain't really affecting them. But once it started affecting their pockets, their money, hey, the housing market. Here you trying to buy land and this and that, the third. So then on top of that, it's so crazy, because at the end of the day, you still gonna be subject to payments if this place was to go along, all right. Buy some land from Esau Edom, buy an apartment complex, whatever the fuck ever. You still got to pay tribute to Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And honestly, that just lets us know the nigga comfortable being a fucking slave, man. He's happy and he's an Israelite. But he's that type of Israelite that say he want the heathens to reign over him, man. Because he liked the benefits. Ultimately, that what it boils down to. Especially him always being on podcasts, always being the face on social media, and then on top of that, you describe yourself as being a Hebrew Israelite, one of the best thing to be, all right, on the planet Earth, being God's true chosen people. Hey, he's using that as a marketing, man, if you can receive it. Like I say, these are not true believers or followers of the Lamb. All right, these are not true servants that you people blindly follow, man. All right, all the way down to the churches that teach Paul's, Hamashiach Christianity. false Christians, even all the way down to the false prophets, the ones that know that they're Hebrew Israelites, man. All right, and it's tragic. It's tragic.
Yeah, but it's okay, man. The Lord set up false prophets to be an example of what not to be. Okay, when it comes to the majority of our people being misled.
That's another reason we got to get the fuck out of here. I hope it's out here.
He ain't on the sidewalk or nothing.
I hope it's out here. That's why I can't wait till Yahweh Shem Shah start killing people, man. I really can't wait for that, man. I may be calm right now, but I'm fired the fuck up inside. I cannot wait till the Lord start killing people, bro. Shit retarded. Shit retarded, bro.
But this is Micah chapter 2, verse 10. And it says, "Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction."
Hey, this place is polluted. And just like not too long ago, a couple of days ago, when I did a video, these are the same devils that y'all want to save, y'all want to live underneath. Same devil feeding you all types of parasitic organisms in the food. They feeding you human meat. People forgot about that. All right, in the fast food chain, putting all types of chemicals to fucking kill you people. But meanwhile, you love America. You want 30, 40, 50 years to be living here. But the whole time you living, motherfuckers can barely think. They can barely walk. All right? All that, man. And this shit crazy because as long as they continue to live on in their wickedness and in their lust, they don't give a fuck how much hell and pain they go through until death is knocking at their door. Then that's when they want to ask God for forgiveness or ask God to, heal them or whatever the case may be, man.
Yeah, they're comfortable here.
They're comfortable here.
And Esau Edom, like I say, through different chemicals and social media, okay, done dumb down a lot of our people. Okay? To the point of their morals is at an all-time low. Okay? And Esau Edom don't weaponize everything. Okay? They're going to the food, like all you going to the food,
Water,
the water, air.
Hell. Motherfuckers must be forgot about Flint. The dirty water, Jackson, Mississippi. And these are neighborhoods. Detroit, yep. Alright. Alright. And these are all predominantly, if not all, Jacob, man. The sons of Jacob, because we week in and week out through the spirit and power Yahweh Shem Shah, we been telling you that these heathens, starting off with Esau, even the white man, do not like y'all. They hate y'all. All right, it's just that simple. Perpetual hatred, or forever spiritual hatred that nobody can never understand, but only the prophet. And why the prophets understand? Because Yahweh Shem Shah is dealing with the prophets. He revealed his secrets into the service of prophets. Just that simple.
The elect gonna come to that conclusion. Okay. I got this real quick. This is Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 5, verse 7. It says, "Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in our security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance."
That's what's about to happen, to the people. All right, 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and 50, Lord, will we get that soon? But great misery is going to come upon them in the latter day, walked in great pride. Majority of the people really truly don't believe that America is going to go down. They truly don't believe that this place is going to go through an economic collapse. All right? Why? Because they trust in this place. They do not want this place to be destroyed, man. Deep down in their spirits, no matter how fucked up and disgusting and wicked this place is. But now you know that these people are wicked, because they don't want a righteous kingdom. And then, like I said, we speaking mainly towards our people, because they ought to know better. But hey, that's on them.
Yeah, we got the saying, desensitized.
Yeah.
More and more people are desensitized. They're seeing things happening, crime and death, over here in America, how the economy is going. Okay, but they so downtrodden,
Yep.
okay, and so defeated and trust in this place, and they figure, hey man, and also to pride, thinking that, hey man, everything gonna bounce back, everything good, okay, everything good, even though Trump, doing what he's doing, but look how much uproar it done caused, man. Okay, it's gonna come to the point, I say the pressure point, okay, when people, gonna get fed up, man. That's why now you're seeing people getting on social media and thinking, talking about Trump or the economy, okay, how corrupt America is, okay, how the system is, and they're ready to crash out, okay? So we come to that point now, man, okay? But ain't no time to tarry now, okay? So the majority of people, as Scripture says, as they need security, okay, the Lord gonna visit them, okay, and eventually they're gonna be destroyed when it comes to the 2/3, okay, because they set their mind or their heart, okay, which their mind on the material things of this world, man, okay, when it comes to the tangible things of this world, man, okay, but the Scripture says the fashion of this world shall pass away, man, okay, that's what it comes. I was trying to bring the great destruction to this place in America, ultimately by the way of thermonuclear missiles, at the peak of the Third World War, which the Third World War is coming to that point, okay, or brewing. That's why you're seeing all these nations gathering together for war, such as Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, okay, them Arab states, ready to come against the West, okay, even certain members of the EU or NATO, ready to come against the West, okay, which they're allies to America. Okay, but look how Trump is putting tabs and sanctions on them. Okay, more and more bringing devastation to their economy. Okay, and so we're in the time of war. Okay, we just had Trump, but about a week ago, when it comes to over here in the States, how he assembled a lot of the military generals, okay, I think at the Pentagon, now they ain't the Pentagon no more, they done changed the name to the Department of War. Okay, show you what mind frame they in. Okay, so he done gathered all them, assembled them. Okay, this is how it's gonna be for you in America. Okay, prepare yourself for war when it comes to the people over here in the States and when it comes to worldwide, as they trying to push here in America domination. A lot of these countries are superpowers outside of America. They ain't going for it no more, man.
And it's all part of Esau, Edom, ultimately Yahweh about Shah new agenda. All right, because the plans are, all right, that these elites are going to do through the Spirit and power Yahweh Shah, which we know through the Spirit. All right, they're going to crash this dollar. They're going to allow anarchy to run in the streets out of Babylon the Great, order out of chaos. All right, because they both bringing in chaos, which is all set up, psyop. All right, and they're also going to bring in the order via the troops, which they're already doing now. And hey, it's so funny. You YNs, y'all ain't nowhere to be found no more, man. I thought y'all was about that shit. With the switches, yeah, in Chicago. They in Chicago, man. You know?
Yeah, but this that was last Monday. You had some National Guard troops, ICE.
Pull out some like Southern Kingdom, like Negroes and Judah, Benjamin, Levi of them of the tribe, pulling them out the houses. Had children tied up, zip tied with each other. All right.
And they came with that Black Hawk helicopter. Okay, in the middle of the night. Okay, at the thief in the night. Unexpected. Okay. Why them YNs, I'm pretty sure they been comfortable them, did all take the witness throughout the day. Hey, but then, when Esau came in and swooped down on them, okay, they were nowhere to be found. Okay, but that's how Esau moved. The scripture says Esau blessing is his sword, but also his characteristics as with the sport as being the cunning carnival. Okay, because he already know, you already think he know the hours and days for y'all niggas move. Okay, now this is the time now we can move on when they're more vulnerable. Okay, and you had, you know, the tribe, you know, over there in Chicago on the news station. It was horrible how they treat us and how they win.
It's only gonna be worse.
And gather the men, women, and children, elderly. Okay, it was unexpected. Okay, hauled them all. Now ain't no news, right? Where they took those individuals to. Okay, most likely to a concentration camp. If it wasn't for, if it ain't execution, because it happened, they ain't got to that point yet. But they're gonna get to that point when all hell breaking loose. Okay, they just making their rounds right now. They just doing they testing. Okay, they testing now. How, you know, to see the reaction of the people. Okay, to see how they're gonna react. Okay, and we see the reaction that majority of those, you know, even those uproars over there in Chicago. Okay, but they ain't to the point how the YNs, like you said, over in Chicago, going to retaliate. Okay, like you said, most of them dumbed down. They all about really trying to get the ops.
Yeah, they too busy gunning down their own.
Gunning down each other.
Yeah.
And Esau came in all, and they might shook them up a little bit.
They know. They definitely shook them up.
That.
Cause I ain't heard about, you know, no young niggas going at it with the guard troops. I'm pretty sure we would have heard about something like that.
Yeah, I heard about little protests.
Yeah, little protest. Somebody.
You ain't here to the point that these YNs or those individuals over there in Chicago with those gangs and stuff. Okay, the same energy that they have towards each other. You don't see that towards the National Guard troops or the ICE troops over there. Okay? Because that's the Lord. How about you now, sharpen the sword? Okay? Let you try to know that the Lord is about to be with Esau. It'll come down upon you, man. Okay? It really needed to. It is the time for you, Negro, Latinos, Native Americans to repent. Okay? Because you got one of the biggest camps, I say, when it comes to Great Millstone in Chicago, man. Okay? They're constantly giving warning, teaching, preaching, prophesying. Okay? How many know YNs don't went by the camp and scarf and storm or make mockery? Okay? While the men of the Lord was out there. Okay? Start with the men coming out there, their friends, Chicago camp. Okay? And others like camps amongst Chicago. So it ain't gonna be pussy. It ain't pussy. Okay? But soon it's gonna be a national-wide or statewide martial law. And they already putting up their strategy or doing their strategy. Memphis, okay, DC, okay, New York, LA, primary dominantly where most of your tribes are at.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 50. In the KJV, a nation of fierce consonant which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. I'm going to read that in the NLT. Verse 50. In the NLT, a fierce and heartless nation that shows no respect for the old and no pity for the young. And as of today, that's definitely Esau Edom. Our wicked and vile, abominable creature that the Lord created to be that wicked, to show that type of animosity and true hatred towards the descendants of Jacob. And even though, you know, that happened unto us throughout, you know, countless of captivities, the kings and the rulers having that fierce consonance and so on and so forth, but it's just something special about Esau Edom, man. Moving swift as that eagle. All right, having that heartless type of spirit on them. To just to utterly slay and destroy Jake, man. All right, showing no favor to the old or the young. And that was a prime example of that incident that happened in Chicago. And then one of the police officers or the agents said, "Fuck the kids."
Yeah.
You know, and honestly, that's the Lord Yahweh Shah saying, "Fuck the kids," man. Because at the end of the day, Ezekiel 9 and 5 and on down to 6, hey, we understand judgment. We understand if a little child get put to death brutally, in the past life they had to been a wicked individual, most likely. All right.
But you gotta remember, Yahweh Shai was given over to Roman persecution. Okay, which we know is, through the Spirit, and will when the Lord Yahweh Shai went to cross persecution, that our people gave him up to Roman persecution to go to the cross and be crucified. Okay, which that was the Lord Yahweh Shai. Really, when it comes to dying for the nation of Israel, okay, ultimately will start with the elect. Okay? But it was 2/3 of our people that came against the Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay? They gave him over to the cross to be crucified. Okay? But they had that, in the scriptures, it says that, they make the same, they say the same. Hey, let his blood be upon us and our children. Okay, so that was a vow, that was a promise. Okay, a blood oath. Okay, so that's why we're seeing what's happening now in the tribes. Okay, on all ages, on the old, on the young, men, women, and children. Okay, when it comes to the 2/3, okay, so the Lord hold them to that. Okay.
That was good on I got it. This Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 11, verse 25, going into what you have read, 5 and 7. Sirach 5 and 7. So this is verse 25. In the day of prosperity, there's a forgetfulness of affliction. All right, the day of prosperity. I'm about to say in the day of prosperity, people that's living it up, people that's still working, receiving a paycheck, all right, everything's good. They're not gonna look or even think about affliction happening unto them. All right, they can't see it. So in the day of prosperity, they don't know affliction. They don't want to get to know affliction, man. Not knowing that when you afflict yourself of this world, you increase spiritual blessings, man. All right, you increase in knowledge, wisdom, understanding. All right, the Lord will deal with you more. All right, and you're gonna have faith that this place be thrown down utterly very soon. All right, because like we're saying, we are already about to enter the year of 2026. Less than 2 months to be precise. Less than 2 months from now. It said in the top. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. And that's what's about to come upon you people. Great miseries is about to happen to you that walk in great pride in the latter days, man, the latter end. All right, the latter end of Esau's Edom empire. So we tell our people week in and week out, like I say, not just us out here, but the spirit of the Lord that's around the entire earth, the whole world, because you got prophets all over, man. All right, all over the world, and the Lord set that up. Pursuing the Romans 10 and 18, and also Matthew the 24th chapter and 14, that this gospel must reach into the ends of the earth. Then the end shall come. And even with that, all these are the beginning of sorrow. All right, the Lord is long suffering. So with that being said, we have to be patient. We have to wait for these prophecies to happen. And while we're waiting, we prophesy. All right, staying occupied in the news. All right, in the economy. Like I said, for Europe, if I'm not mistaken, or somewhere part of Europe, they're already trying to push that digital ID. The UK, the UK pushing that digital ID on their people, saying basically if you don't receive this ID, you won't be able to get paid, you won't be able to work. And we all know that the only reason why
they're pushing over there in Vietnam too. Okay, a lot of those Vietnamese, their bank accounts, got frozen. They say in order for you to get access to your account, you gotta take this or you gotta apply yourself to the digital ID, real ID.
And this is only the beginning of it. This is just the
Gradualism.
gradualism. This is only the forerunner of the MOTB system. This ain't even a device being inside your hand. All right, because like we say, the dollar's still up and running, but they're gradualizing you people to accept this new way of living. Cashless society. That's a real fucking thing, man. But our people don't want to hear it. They don't want to believe it. All right. Hey, Kyle Schwab, man. They said, hey, you will own nothing and be happy. But people still want to live in Babylon the Great. But they just have no hope. That's what it boils down to. They have no hope, man. All right, especially our people. And that's who I'm talking about, mainly our people, man.
I got this real quick. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 4. It says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death.
Hey, riches profit not. So going back to what Captain Tazariak, all right. Anyway, going back to Captain Tazariak, you know, dealing with the podcast, talking about so what's next, you know, and this nigga has an idea of making it in this society, prospering in this society. Read that please up again for me.
Proverbs 11, verse 4, it says, riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness deliver from death.
All right, the day of wrath is slowly coming, and riches is not going to deliver or save you. And that's also, I believe, in Zephaniah 1 and 18. If you can hold that, that riches and money is not going to save you, man. Your status is not going to save you. Your wealth, your net worth is not going to save you. But your righteousness is. Even though we know all our righteousness is likened unto filthy rags, speaking of the elect. But hey, guess what? The righteousness of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, if you be of that elect, you will still be delivered and saved. And that's why we do faith. And that's why we come out week in and week out to prophesy, to teach, to preach, to continue to learn and to grow in this truth. Because we know Isaiah 33 and 6, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times and strength and salvation. We know by us knowing these things, that's how we're going to endure unto the very end. If we are the elect, man. Praying that we are. All right?
This is Zephaniah. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 17. It says, and I will, Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 17, and I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Verse 18, the point.
Also, that's a good precept. That is Zechariah 14 and 12, that plague. And that's ultimately going into the nuclear destruction. World War III. All right? Like I said, these nuclear bombs and these missiles were not created for no fucking reason. The Lord is going to use those nuclear weapons. All right? They're not for display. They're not for show and tell. It's an example of to live, not to live, man. All right? Living in ungodliness, a lot of people. And the Lord is going to use that new element of fire, be it through the ICBMs, the hypersonic missiles, nuclear war.
Yeah, the scriptures call them the waster.
Yep.
Another way saying the nuclear missile, a waste. They're going to waste this place of America.
Waste the land.
Yep. Okay, the whole land mass of America going to be destroyed, man. Okay, which the scriptures call it, after this place be destroyed, okay, they're going to become a land of confusion. Okay, because you ain't going to know where New York was at, California, Florida, South Carolina, Georgia. Okay, it's going to be a desert, man.
Barren desert land full of creatures that the Lord, desert-like creatures that the Lord is going to set up here. That's going to set up shop and continue to live here. Other than that, never mankind. No more. All right?
Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 18, the point, it says, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath, But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy residence of all them that dwell in the land.
We're going to make a speedy riddance, man. All right, because as the scripture saying in Revelation, 1 hour. All right, 1 hour that this city is going to be destroyed, man. All right, and we believe that. All right, because even the Lord is slowly making these prophecies come to pass. It's tarrying here and there. It comes to pass, you know, full throttle, then it'll slow down. But hey, once all these things come all into play, all right, the MOTB, martial law, Jacob's trouble, all right, the dollar collapse. Best with, hey, Yahweh Shah cracking those clouds, man, who the world enemy called Jesus Christ. All right, when he cracked those clouds, hey, all that spontaneously is going to happen. The salvation, mainly talking about the salvation being delivered as the nuclear missiles are being rained or being shot over here to the states to destroy the whole land of Babylon the Great. And we know that this land is not going to be inhabited anymore pursuant to the scriptures. Isaiah 13, Isaiah 14, Isaiah 34, all right, Jeremiah 50, Jeremiah 51. We understand these prophecies, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right?
The only way you can be delivered out of, if you are the elect, starting off when you are the elect, and eventually, okay, the only way you can be delivered out of it by the way of the church. Like you say, man, them missiles are going to be launched simultaneously, and Yahweh Shai bringing war by the way of the church, or the world called UFO. But when it comes to the elect is going to be delivered by the way of the church, being beamed up. Okay, when it comes to Revelation 18, okay, come out of her, my people, 18 and 5. Okay, as the Lord going to beam up the elect from out of that destruction, man. Okay, that's the only way you can destroy, deliver, not be destroyed, man. Okay.
Revelation 18 and 4, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come up, come out of her, my people. Then ye shall, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues."
Yeah, the plagues. You pointed earlier on Zechariah 14:12, that plague going to those missiles. And also the chariots breaking fire. Okay, to the space of America. Okay? Those are the elect. Okay, here in America, so you're gonna have the elect scattered worldwide. But according to Matthew chapter 24, verses 29 through 31, there's gonna be a worldwide deliverance. But the main destruction and the main salvation is gonna take place here in America. And the only way you can be delivered is by the way of the chariots, okay, from the nuclear missile. And the ones of our people that take that RFID microchip always give us third warning, okay? Starting with the scriptures, but mainly the men of Great Millstone always harping on and giving that warning, okay, about the RFID micro and not to take it. And those of our people that take it, they're going to be destroyed, according to Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, by the way of the missiles and the chariots bringing fire. Okay? But if you take that RFID micro, and you allowed it unto being destroyed. Okay? And the elect is not going to take that RFID microchip. Okay? Even if it be unto death. Okay, Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. Okay, being beheaded. We know about the guillotines. Okay, they want to bring back certain torture methods. Okay, they're going to have set up for those that be disobedient or don't comply to the system of the NWO. Okay, those are the elect that's going to be martyred. Okay, that's not going to take the RFID micro, or those that die in the faith. Okay, they're going to be the first ones risen up when Yahweh shall return to gather the rest of the elect. And not all the elect is going to be put to death. Okay, you're going to have some majority of the elect that's not going to taste the death. Okay, but those that remain going to be delivered. And those that die in the faith, they're going to be resurrected. Okay, or be resurrected. Okay, to be called up into the church, to be partakers with Yahweh Shah's salvation. Okay, so you know, for us are the hope elect, it's a win-win situation, even if it's gone to death. Which we know this place, you know, it isn't up to death anyway. Okay, we know the end all, the be all when it comes to the place of America. Okay, so we understand the concept of life and death. Okay, how about Shah told small things. Okay? Not to give our strength or be weak. Okay, to fall to Esau, being the victim to Esau, Edom. Okay, because we know they've been, man. That's coming. But we know that we're in the time of their downfall, the coming of their judgment. Okay, the time of they about to go into captivity. Okay.
Quick precept going. Like I said, going back to Captain Tazariak, because like I said, that's how you know at the end of the day, this man, he truly don't believe. All right, he don't believe in the prophecies. He don't believe in who the world, he don't believe in Yahweh Shai, who the word he thought Jesus
Well,
Christ.
he said, I ain't waiting on Yahweh Shai. A couple of months ago, he made a statement. I ain't waiting on Yahweh Shai. I got to build here. Okay, what kind of, that shit, man, they more they sold out. Like the Apostle Elder said, man, a lot of these individuals amongst Israel, okay, they don't know what they really are involved with. It's all just a showcase to them. It's all about prosperity, fame, fortune, receipt of fame, popularity, money.
That's all niggas care about. That's how you know truly that these people, and like I said, you can bet off not knowing you was an Israelite, bro. Like I say, that's some fucked up shit. That shit crazy. That shit wild, man. All right, for an individual to do that or think like that, and to say those type of things.
Second Peter with 5. What manner of person? 3.
Yeah. Let me read. Matter of fact, let me get what okay, cool. Is the book 2 Peter chapter 3. I start at 10. But the day of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up, going into the nuclear destruction. All right, that's ultimately what's it going into. Nuclear destruction upon Babylon the Great and upon these people on the planet Earth, mainly in Babylon the Great America. And it said, verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved by the nuclear destruction. It says, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved. Verse 11, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons are ye to be in all holy conversation, godly? And that conversation is going to your conduct. All right, your daily living, your daily speech, especially dealing with the brotherhood. And I'm going to go into 2 Peter 3. And 11, matter of fact, I'm going to read in the KJV, the NLT. Verse 10, but the day of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai will come as unexpectedly as a thief. Then the heavens will pass away with a terrible noise, and the very elements themselves will disappear in fire. The earth and everything on it will be found to deserve judgment. And the Lord is going to ultimately judge the planet Earth. But it's mainly talking about Babylon the Great being on fire, going through that nuclear fire, man, in the upcoming future World War III. Verse 11, since everything around us is going to be destroyed like this, what holy and godly lives you should live. All right, and that's what it's doing. All right, living godly lives. All right, putting on that holy conversation, man. All right, your way of conduct, your way of living. All right, being in that state of mourning, going into the house of mourning rather than being in the house of feasting. Because at the end of the day, hey, all this mirth is going to turn, and this mirth and feasting is going to turn into mourning. All right, lamenting. Sooner or later, the famine is going to happen to you people. Lack of food, resources. That's going to get you people's attention. All right?
What is it? Two. What is it? The book. How it was written.
Oh, God, that's that. The holy conversation. It says on a strophe. If I'm not mistaken. On a strophe. And it's on G 391. And it says manner of life, conduct, behavior, deportment, conversation, behavior. All right, your way, it's a manner of life, behavior, conduct, your walk. All right. Hey, walking in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah, not walking in, wickedness and in folly and so on and so forth. In the flesh.
The lust of the flesh.
God.
When it comes to the ways of this world, man. Okay, because the scripture says, although we in the world, but we don't, although we use the world, we don't abuse it. Okay, of course we got to take care of, our daily necessary things. As we in this captivity, we work. Got to, at the same time, got to, pay bills and utilities, take care of your household, your family, your wife, your children. Okay? But we know that this place is temporary, man. Okay? As it's prophesied that this place on the verge are going to come to its final point of its collapse and downfall, man. Okay? So, our mind is set into the heavenly thing. Okay, the scripture says, but the treasures, they call it your set your heart on the things. Okay, paraphrasing.
Is it set not or set by heart?
When it comes to not the things that come to
Matthew 6 and 19.
Others will probably that probably is. Okay, but not basically the treasures or the riches of this world, but your treasure in heaven.
Okay, I think it's Matthew 6.
Okay, because we know that our everlasting kingdom, because at this time, man, as we in this calling, okay, we present ourselves, our body as a living sacrifice, man. Yeah, that is.
Matthew 6. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 19 in the NLT. Don't store up treasures here on earth. KJV. Lay not up yourselves treasures upon earth.
Yeah. This is the time we in now. The treasure will represent your money, your material things, investments, entrepreneur. You're trying to build here, especially those that know they're Israelites. We got to build an Israelite community. Man, just like that, man.
There's another scripture for Captain Cesaria. Basically,
not just on him. IUIC, a couple of months ago, they were doing the land blitz, doing the fundraising and charity. You got to get money together. You try to get a plot of land over there somewhere in Atlanta.
Land blitz for IUIC.
I think Chief People. He's trying to get a plot of land. I guess what Chief from our people, former member. I think probably still is. HOI.
I thought it was former. HOI.
Yeah, I know. But the whole thing is he was talking about building up land over here in America, just like the community and all that money. Dr. Johnson, he don't subscribe to being an Israelite. Okay, but he talking about building a school and all that. Now he looking bad.
We need to do all these things to detach ourselves from the way of the white,
so-called white
yeah,
man.
the white man, the white
We gotta build
oppressor.
ourselves up as a community.
Yeah.
That's how we can get forward. Okay?
Niggas lost, man.
You know, that's how we gotta get forward as a black community or successful as a black nation.
And it's so that how you know our people just bug out and they love those smooth words and the lies and deceit. These type of niggas been preaching this type of shit for the longest. Ain't shit never happened. Meanwhile, we preaching downfall and destruction. Hey, things are happening. But you got to have the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah upon you to see what's really going on. We're seeing the prophecies happen, man. And it's only going to intensify. All right?
It ain't gonna stop. Because the Lord say, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah say, His word doesn't go out void. Because whatever the Lord say is gonna happen, especially end time prophecy, it's gonna happen. Okay, that's why 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse 1, go into measuring the time. They measuring the time, man, because of the prophecy, man. You know the state that we in, the time that we in, especially now. Okay? Now, but I know you're going into
2 Peter 3.
You got this.
Yeah, I was done with that. All right, continuing on in the KJV. Lay not up yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust don't corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal.
No, especially you the thief. Okay?
Still gonna have to pay those land taxes and taxes or mortgage on that place you want the Israelite community to be built upon. You still got to pay Esau Edom, dumbass.
And you still got to go to the. You talking about building up cattle and all that. You know, getting cattle. Hey, how you gonna feed them cattle? You still got to go to the.
You gotta go to
they
Esau
resources. And he's talking about they building up farms like going back into Captain Conrad on that podcast. So they building up farms and cattle and all that. Hey, at the time, the economy when it comes to Esau Edom over here in the U.S., a lot of these farmers are losing their business. Okay, like the likes of boy Billy T. Y'all know, for Gates, they catch them buying up all the farmland. You got simple American farmers over here talking about how they done losing their farm and got to sell their crops and all that over to them. Okay? And at the same time, this government or these elites pushing more GMO seeds, GMO food. Okay, they want to clone meat, laboratory meat and all that.
They already doing this type of shit. You know?
Terminator seeds.
Yeah.
Okay, Elder Yashawamba always going to that, man.
Talking about fake wounds and shit. Like artificial.
No, I'm talking about the Terminator seeds. Elder Yashawamba, from GMS Dallas brand. Going to they got certain seeds when it comes to fruits and vegetables. Okay, that seeds they GMO their laboratory, they put amongst the natural seeds to destroy the natural seeds
and take over. Matter of fact, that sounds like some parasitic shit, man.
Biological warfare.
That's all it is. Biological warfare, man. That sounds like some shit off a fucking sci-fi movie, man. And basically making copies and replicas of those same cells, but now it's that demonic man-made cell, man. That's done took over the seeds and all that. Hey, Esau got to fucking go.
Monsanto's. You can't forget about Monsanto's.
You learned about that when we first moved up to the streets, man. How much more now? All right, these are the times we living in.
Yeah, so ain't no time trying to build here in America. Store your treasure up here in America, okay, which is corrupt. Especially start with the doctor. Okay, the FRA, Federal Reserve notes, okay, fiat, okay, not real money. So that's corrupt. They want to do away with that. As we're going into more of a cashless society. Okay, that's why you hear more about the CBDCs. okay, being brought forth. More digital currency, universal basic, basic universal basic income, Fed now. We had Trump a couple of months ago pushing sign to the bill or the executive order of Genesis Act that got to deal with, digital currency. Big beautiful bill. Bitcoin. Okay, so they go like tell Native Americans, especially though they know they Israelites, like y'all ain't catching up. Okay? For the times that we in. But more and more people feel like they don't sold out.
They had, man. That shit terrible. These niggas had to sell out, and probably Esau Edom done promised them a false hope, as giving them little money here and there, and majority of our people know the destruction is coming. So they probably got some backdoor deals with Esau. Hey, let us be on part of your bunkers, all this, that, third. That time we living in, man. Betrayal.
They say they hired us. They hired us that see the wolf coming. Okay, that care not for the sheep. Okay, because the wolf represents Esau Edom. Okay, the hired is supposed to be the ones that represent, to look over the sheep or the lamb for the shepherd. Okay, that's what they've been hired for. Okay, when it comes to the ones that call yourself Israelite leaders. Okay, in the form of a hired, or you care not for the sheep. Okay, and when the wolf come in and the sheep being taken, the sheep of the lamb, which is our people, being taken by Esau Edom's sister, then it said the hireling flee. Okay, when all hell break loose, man, they ain't gonna be nowhere to be found. Okay, they ain't gonna have. Okay, when people or their congregation looking for the answer and what we should do now, okay, a lot of them gonna backdoor them, like you said.
Beat them down. Path of destruction. Yeah.
Take that money, or if not, like you said, Esau Edom gonna come against them. Okay, or they gonna take that money and duck off somewhere.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 10, and verse 11. And this is, of course, red letter Yahweh Shai says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. That's Yahweh Shai. And that's how you know Yahweh Shai being that good shepherd, that sacrificial lamb. He gave his own life through the spirit and power of his heavenly Father Yahweh. And he accepted his purpose. All right, of being that sacrificial lamb for the sheep, for the elect. First and foremost, starting off, and then the whole house of Israel, because Lord Yahweh Shai, you remember that oath, that bloody oath that they asked for. All right, and they didn't consider it, but now they're going to consider it in the latter end. All right.
The Lord showing mercy. You got to remember, the Lord kept his promise to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Israel. They have to, even though 2/3 will be destroyed, but they Israelites. Okay, the Lord going to have mercy upon them, and yet choose Israel. Okay, that Isaiah chapter 14. Okay, but 2/3 of our people are going to have to die on this side or in this lifetime and come back into Canaan, being sons and daughters of the elect, the offspring of the elect. Okay, which proves incarnation and prove that God will have mercy on all Israel. Right now, I'm starting to look at that.
Verse 12. But he that is an hireling and not the shepherd.
Yeah, hireling going to these false prophets, prophet that was set up, the preach the word, they're supposed to care for the sheep, to watch over the sheep. Okay, when it comes to Israel, when it comes to teaching his word. Okay, you got false hirelings or false prophets out there misleading. Okay, misleading the sheep. Okay, just as another saying, the Judas goat. Okay, Judas goat would always, goat that was used to mislead the sheep to the slaughter. Okay, once the Judas goat did his job, okay, they deserved the Judas goat for another cattle to destroy. Flock of cattle to destroy. Look at the term Judas goat, man.
Real term, it's real goat. Verse 12, but he that is an hireling and not the shepherd, who own the shepherd are not seeth the wolf coming.
Yeah, because our people belong to Yahweh Shah Shah. Okay? And we represent the word of the Lord Yahweh Shah Shah. But if you're out there teaching falsely, okay, and misleading the congregation, okay, misleading the flock of Yahweh Shah Shah, okay, or those, okay, that you're supposed to be out there teaching, but you're misleading them. Okay? And this is going to hold that blood or that accountability upon their hands. Okay, this false doctrine that our people are being misled by these false leaders amongst Israel. We know the Christian church and all these other different sets of religion, which religion we worship. Okay, we know they go off like the Christian church of Islam and Egyptology, that our people are involved in, start with their heads, or their leaders that misleading them. But when it comes to the Israelites, man, these false prophets amongst Israel, the Lord said, y'all gonna be people with many stripes. They're misleading our congregation or the nation of Israel, or misleading their congregation falsely, man.
And seeth the wolf coming, and leaveth the sheep and fleeth.
Yeah, so they see the wolf coming. Okay, like the wolf represents Esau at the time of these elites, when it comes to the NWO. And the list luminary ones that doing their business. Okay, and you got 2/3 of our people doing their business. Start with these false prophets, okay, that took the 501c3 chart, okay, or just misleading our people, man. Okay, so that wolf is coming, man. Okay, we see all the signs paying points for us. We saw him ready to come in with that sword, man. He defied the strict legislation or deporting measures, the unrighteous decrees. Okay, as it says in Isaiah chapter 10. Okay? And you would think Israelite leaders are supposed to know better. Okay? They sold out. And they all in it for self-gain, man. Selfish, man. They don't give a damn about their congregation. Even they don't sold out, but the Lord just got them that blind. Okay, but there ain't gonna be no excuse for Yahweh Shah set up the true prophets. Okay? That's just the matter. Just as the Lord set up the false prophets. Yeah, you got to be the true prophet to show you the way.
Jeremiah 3:15. The Lord's going to give us pastors according to his heart, according to his mind.
When it comes to the scriptures, able to interpret them the right way, break them down the right way, man. Okay, and clearly more and more, they look like the man of great millstone, man. Okay, we coming to the latter ends, the prophecies coming to be fulfilled, man. Okay?
Continuing on, the wolf catcheth them, and the wolf catcheth them and scattereth the sheep.
Okay, a lot of it is going to be catched. Okay? When it comes to Esau agenda. Okay? And you got false prophets that got individuals that are supposed to be prophets, but false prophets leading them into that catch or that snare. Okay, you got a lot of these Israelites kept saying that the RFID microchip is not the mark of the beast. Okay? Like you say, ain't no Jacob's trouble. We gotta build here in America.
America's gonna last another 1,000 years.
Yeah.
I say you gotta be a sick ass individual to say some dumb shit like that.
Esau Edom can make it.
That's
All Israel can be saved.
That's
All simple, man. We can't hate Esau Edom. We gotta build an Israelite community. It's all about partying, prosperity.
Our people gonna have
Part of the snares that they misleading our people to. Because so especially when that RFID micro is presented, man.
That's definitely the times we living in. Verse 13, St. John 10 and 13.
That's why you see more and more why you have us outside going to destroy a lot of our people.
Oh yeah.
Especially those that falsely teaching his word. And the thing about it, they get more and more arrogance in their false doctrine.
Right.
Okay, to the point they scoff and scorn, okay, against the apostles and elders. They hit it. They hit it with proof. They hit it with the right instruction, correction. Okay, but they want to double down on their rebellious, man. Really, not knowing that, hey, the scripture says open rebuke, or it's better than secret love. Teaching the word is all about the proof, correction. That I believe with in Timothy. For you to correct and the scripture says, rightly dividing the word of truth, man. Okay, but more what they scoff and scorn, come against the men, especially our apostles and elders. Okay? The forerunner of the word of Yahweh Shah, calling them old niggas, you know, rapists,
That's Jefferson the character, man. That's a serious offense to call somebody a rapist.
Camp bangers, haters. Okay, especially Bishop Nathaniel from Iowa, General Yohana, and all of them, Captain Cesariak. Okay, but they're gonna have to keep them words.
Right.
Okay, but the Lord bring that judgment upon them. There ain't gonna be no excuse. And those that been misled by them and follow them. Okay, you know, they little minions. Okay, they congregation that get on social media or online and come against the men of Great Millstone or the true prophets. They scoff and scorn. And this is what it says, particular chapter 2, verse 5, I believe. Then it said, no, a prophet has been among them. Okay, when all hell breaks loose. Okay, so when all hell breaks loose and more things get to a more serious and squeeze, watch out a lot of these false things it's like the leaders want trying to switch up and everything. They're gonna be too late.
Even these scoffers and scorners, man. They're gonna be too late for real, man. So the Lord will put that cold spirit on us, and starting off with the elders and the apostles. We're gonna reject you people.
Well, I went in yesterday. I did a lesson on Matthew the 25th chapter, going into the 10 virgins.
10 was wise. I mean, 5 was wise, 5 was foolish.
And the 10 virgins, okay, the 5 that was wise represent the elect, okay, and the 5 that was foolish represent, you know, the 2/3 start with those that are supposed to know the truth. Okay, so part of that parable said that, you know, they had their lamp, meaning that they know they were Israel, but they didn't have the oil, okay, the complete understanding of the truth. Okay, and then their oil ran out, and then they went to go seek for the 5 wise virgins to get their oil. Okay, which represent the true prophets that's out there teaching. Okay, but then those 5 virgins, or the wise say that, nah, y'all go and buy those that sell, okay, those that you've been misled by the whole time. Go and go follow them.
They say, hey, fuck you, nigga, you figure it out. In a nutshell, basically.
And they just went out there trying to look and see how can they, you know, get the truth. The whole time the truth been presented to them, but they, you know, they didn't, you know, care for the audience. Okay, so while they went out there to look, then the bridegroom came to Yahweh Shai return. Okay, then they went to go, and when the Lord covered the elect, then they went to go seek for the Lord. And the Lord said, hey, I never knew you. Okay, shut the doors on them, man. Okay? And the wrath of the Lord came upon them. So when you get into that parable.
Also, we preach Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that says Lord, Lord, is going to enter the kingdom of heaven. Alright? So it's very scary to fall into the hands of the living God, Yahweh Shai, man. Alright? So at the end of the day, you have this truth. Continue preaching and teaching. Be humble. Always, you know, grow. Hey, be great. Very humble. Yeah. Yeah, man.
You see a lot of these Israelites, once they know they get just going into a lot of these heads, a lot of these Israelite organizations, they pride. Okay, but Lord say pride was hateful. Okay, when it comes to him and men. Okay, the proud, the lofty should be brought low, the haughty looks of men should be brought low. Okay.
That's why Esau Edom is going down so goddamn hard. They the most proudest of the proud, man. Loftiest of the lofty, man.
And the scripture says, but it's Proverbs 11:21, go hand join hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. So you prideful Negroes that kill Native Americans that want to join into the system, or you false prophets amongst Israel that want to join into Esau Edom, okay, taking the 501c3 charter or the gag order, okay, that them join hand in hand with it, and they both shall be thirsty. Okay, all of them going to fall. Okay, the only ones that's going to be delivered is the true, fearful, humble, hopeful elect. Remember that we start from the water. Men that time, many times we're about to close curtain on this American and on Esau Edom man 2/3.
Verse 13, St. John 10 and 13. The hireling fleeth, because he is an hireling and careth not for the sheep.
How you know they don't care for the sheep? They ain't teaching what they're supposed to be teaching in scripture. Like I say, even if the Lord got them blinded, okay, you know, to a certain extent, a lot of them just sold out for 50 lucre's sake. And the scripture said that teaching Daniel inheritance for 50 lucre's sake, being comfortable with him. Okay, so they really don't care about the sheep. Okay? All they want is their congregation. When it comes to the congregation, all they want is their funds, their revenue. Okay? That's why we got a saying, they ain't really no puppeteers. They just all they need for money. Okay? And the money, and their fame and the money has diluted them. Production they didn't have received has diluted them. Okay? Got them in delusion. Look at that, Lord dealing with them. Okay? All because they prospering. Okay? At the same time, they think they're doing right by teaching false doctrine. A lot of it really, they don't want to take correction, because if they take correction, they got to own up that it was wrong. Yep. And the men of Brick Millstone was right the whole time. Okay, and the blood and on down. And once again, that pride come in there.
That Ezekiel chapter 2, I'm going to start at 3. Read on down to 5. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day.
Even unto this very day. You know, we're in the time of 2025, coming more closer to the end of Esau Edom leadership, the downfall of America. Okay, so still to this very day. Okay, and the Lord said the prophet, okay, the true prophet, okay, like I said, even you got false prophets out there amongst Israel, but the whole point is, when it comes to the scripture, the Lord has set up the prophet, and his word has gone out. Okay, you quoted Romans 10, 16, 17, okay, Matthew 24th chapter, verse 14, okay, so there ain't no excuse, man. Okay, but our people, they're rebellious, even unto this very day.
Verse 4, for they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Allahayim powers.
What the Lord is saying, thus saith the Lord, what's written in the scripture. End time prophet, great judge. Jacob's trouble, okay, martial law, civil war, race war, famine, pestilence, natural disasters, okay, all that. I was trying to lay it out in Matthew 24th chapter. False prophets, okay,
Rumors of war, civil unrest, all right,
UFO sites, cherry sites, okay, who won't move in that close. Okay, and the prophets out here. Okay? End time prophets.
Verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house.
When they hear, okay, those that are unelected, when they hear, accept it. Okay, that's going to be the blessing of the Lord and upon them. Okay? It's talking about us of the hope of it. Those that are not believing. Okay? Those also hear, those that hear and prepare. Yeah, I hear what y'all saying. Y'all teaching the case. Okay, y'all domestic group, terrorists, radical, extremists. Y'all racist.
Hell, even to the way we dress, our custom attire. Or look like y'all wearing dresses, or y'all boys look like moms,
Y'all
look
women,
weird.
y'all hate
Yeah. Oh yeah, y'all hate women.
off, man.
Yeah, God. We just know how to deal with women, man. Know how to put them in their fucking place.
When it comes to the men, women, and children, man.
Yeah.
So we know it's a better order in that. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, you know, especially how y'all hate the women, man. They be the same women they didn't trust in or love that doing wrong.
So, bro, to the point either they end up killing the bitch.
Yeah.
Or the dude they fucking with, they'll kill their damn self. Bitch ass emotional niggas.
Listen, everything out of order, man. That's the main thing. We everything out of order, man. We gotta, as a nation, man, say we gotta repent. You know, even though we gotta go through the trials and tribulation, but it's something gonna be better for us as a nation. And this is how shall gotta return to deliver us and set us up in the righteous order. And that's where everything's over. I don't know.
I ain't know what y'all talking about.
Man gonna come back and set us up. We gotta do our own thing. Like that. I ain't waiting for those so-called black man y'all see gonna come back. Well, you a phone?
From the sky?
From the sky. Yeah, because to the city, it's spiritually discerned.
Yeah, they can't see it.
Like you were going to the point, man. Romans 11 and 7. Next you have attaining the rest of the life. Get to the point, also the hope, man. Like you said, man, to the point. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, shit. Fuck you, nigga. Your loss. Bitch ass nigga.
Two-thirds nigga. Spits. But Esau nigga, y'all.
Yup. Bitch, y'all want to like.
They didn't want to be Israelite. They didn't want to come back and knowledge.
Y'all gonna die. Negroes, spits, wetbacks, tomahawks. Y'all gonna die with those bywords, man. Because y'all trust in oppression at the end of the day.
Yeah, to the point. You trying to get them the correction and you just come out of the scriptures, and if they don't accept it, if they ain't bashing with their words, then they want them down trying to get filthy. Our people always want to come against the prophet. And the scripture said the prophet killers, they caused the prophets harm. Okay, look how they did Jeremiah, throwing them in the pit. The prophets been in prison, imprisonment. Hey, Yahweh, you can say Yahweh shout. But this time the Lord said the prophets of the Lord ain't going to be pushing the corner no more. Touch not my anointing, do my prophet no harm. Okay. This time the Lord will have favor on the prophet, which the Lord always had favor on the prophet. Okay, but this time the Lord will lift up their standard. Okay, Jeremiah 16 and 16 as well, man. Okay, the time we come in. Okay.
Verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there have been a prophet among them.
So they're going to know. How they going to know, especially during the time of the Second and all hell break loose. And also during the time of Amos 8 and 11. The Lord removed the men off the highways and byways. And his word not having access easily on the way of the enemy. When it comes to the time of censorship. Okay? When it comes to more and more lockdown on the enemy. Strict legislation. Not having freedom of speech, as they say. Okay? Especially because of the Israelites. Okay? And Amos 8 and 11 say, then they're going to run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord. Okay? By the way of the prophet, by the way of the word of God, published and introduced to them by the way of the internet. Okay? They're going to be selecting a lot of them. Okay? That's the Lord giving them the code.
Just like how they giving the Lord the cold shoulder right now by not hearkening, not listening to the prophet. The Lord is going to give them that cold shoulder. And all hell breaking, like you said in Proverbs 1. I get it. Still got Isaiah 30. I want to get that Proverbs. Matter of fact, let me get Isaiah 30. Isaiah chapter 30 verse 1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel but not of me.
The word woman is destruction. War, destruction, judgment to the rebellious children. Okay, Lord, we already read it. Lord said he sent his people, okay, to a rebellious nation, rebellious people, okay, you Israelites, okay, because the Lord don't give a damn about these other nations, these heathen nations, which are our enemies. They're going to be destroyed off rip, okay? Because when you go to that Native American, salvation is only better. Okay, but as we know, mainly they're elect at this time. Okay, but because the majority of our people are rebellious, that's why the Lord said, won't. Okay, so at this time, the two judges.
Destruction and sorrow, you know, as it had a different translation reads it. Continuing on, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
Yeah, the cover ain't what the covering of Yahweh Shah shot. Them knowing that they Israelites. And Yahshua, he curses power. He come back to knowledge, all statutes and commandments. Okay, our customs, our inheritance. They don't want that. Okay, they want the covering of Jesus Christ. Okay, white, like you said earlier, white boys.
Yeah, white boy Jesus.
They go back to Treasury Boys and some rappers, Christians.
And like you said, man, it's so crazy because you can bring the scriptures out, letting you know that the Lord's color wasn't a so-called white man. It was a so-called dark-skinned man. As soon as you bring that out, now color don't matter. Color don't matter now.
Because they got Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, they love Esau.
Plantation Christianity.
They love their oppressors, man.
If they ain't got that, they're trusting in Islam. Another covering, Islam. Being a Muslim. African Pan.
Yeah.
Egypt tolerant. They're to the point now, I feel Buddhism, Hinduism, atheism, Baphomet, Satanism now. So I keep it going, man. The scripture says, Isaiah chapter 1, going to show how it says the whole head is sick. Okay, from the head tribe, Judah, the so-called Negro, all the way down to the tribe of Issachar, the so-called Messiah. Okay, when it comes to the 2/3 of it. Okay, the only elect is going to be the woman.
Cannot stress that enough. That's why it's important that you cleave unto this word and pray that you'll be elect. At the end of the day, man.
Lord, so why should they be stricken
anymore?
They ain't not left but really a mercy.
That's what the Lord has basically boiled down to. That's the boiling point. That's what it's about to, come to. All right, the Lord about to destroy our people.
And I hope our faith is to pray that Yahweh shall have mercy upon us.
Right.
The scripture says, remember us, Lord, in the day of thy wrath.
Verse 2, Isaiah 30, chapter 30 and verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
Modern day Egypt, spiritually known, today is America, Egypt, which is a Greek word meaning bondage. Okay, which the word Mizraim, go back to the ancient Egyptians, Hamites, okay, ancient Egypt. It's Mizraim in the Hebrew, okay, which that word meaning slaves, double slaves, I believe. Okay, which is the place of America. It's slaves for us, captivity, bondage. Okay, when it comes to this American system or spiritual Egypt, how people trust in them. Okay, when it comes to the modern day pharaoh or king, president. Okay, when it comes to Trump, even though Trump put the squeeze on the people now, look how many our people still crying out for Trump. Trump, please for this government to help us. Or trusting in the idol worship of false gods in this place up home. Thinking these false gods are idols to help save this place or save them, man. So they trust in the shadow of Egypt. Okay?
Verse 3. Verse 3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion.
Yeah, because they're going to go down. Just as ancient Egypt went down, okay, through the power of Yahweh Shah, okay, this modern day or spiritual Egypt going to go down. If you saw in a movie. Okay? The ancient Egypt was set up to be an example of the Lord's power. So how much more now? Let's come to this place of America, which you know that spiritual. Pharaoh, ancient Pharaoh, he boasts how much how he going to keep the children of Israel, the nation of Israel up under his thumb or rule over them. And Yahweh Shah disappointed. for the great destruction. Okay? Bringing no plagues upon them. Okay? But Esau, even today, you're going to get the same disappointment, man. And the scripture says, for 2 Corinthians 15, you shall smite Egypt with plagues as before. Okay, which is ancient Egypt, but like we're going to spiritual Egypt today. So that Romans was quote down Romans 11 and 8. Spiritual Egypt and Sodom.
Revelation.
Revelation 11 and 8.
I'm going to jump down to verse 7, then jump to verse 9 and 10. Isaiah 30 and 7. For the Egyptians shall help in vain, and to no purpose. Therefore have I cried concerning this. Their strength is to sit still. All right? There's no hope or no faith in Egypt. Even if you was to get help out of Egypt, it's still going to be in vain because Yahweh has it set up for this place to be destroyed, utterly be destroyed, man. All right, this is not our rest, as we had read in Micah 2 and 10. And we harping on that very, very so, because our people really want this place to be their place of rest. They really want this place to be their place of refuge, salvation. They trust in Esau Edom's system. They trust in Esau Edom as a whole, man, as a nation of people. All right, but it's still going. It's all in vain. All in vain. Nothing, man. It's worthless.
Lamentation chapter 4 verse 17. We have watched for a nation that cannot save us.
They cannot. Yep. And even, and
like eyes have failed by vain help.
Because like I always ask people, if these people are the God-fearing people, they the God-chosen people, why is there so much corruption and wickedness in the planet Earth? Why is it still sin in the planet Earth? Why are we living under a righteous vibration? Why isn't the laws being pushed in Babylon the Great America? That's why I'm saying, bro, because it's not only just vocab alone, but just all people in general. If we're not the people, then who the fuck are it, man? And they don't never have the answer. If you say the people that's already over there, that is a falsified lie, man.
Ever since they got any power over there, everything got more and more.
Then all you gotta read Isaiah the 2nd chapter, a few verses up, Micah the 4th chapter. When the people of Israel get back to the land, there should be no more wars. World War III still got to happen.
Proverbs 29 and 2.
Proverbs 29 and 2. When the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, man. The righteous are not in authority. That's why everybody is fucking miserable.
Depressed. Where's
Yahweh Shai? That's number one.
You established the king, the man of Israel. Where's Yahweh Shai at? Where King David, where the 12 tribes, like you say, where the righteous coming from, man. Where the bitter people, man. Where the 12 gates with the 12 apostles' name on it. Okay, 12. That says Revelation was 20. 12 gates. You know, when it comes to on the kingdom side, east, north, east, west, south. 12 gates when it comes to Jerusalem, gold.
Shit, why is it still, it's still sin in the air, man.
Immortality.
Yeah, living forever, man. That's what I'm saying. It's funny, you people, and ultimately, you people are scared.
I don't even got no crowns on their head. The Lord said that when it comes to the nation, they're going to have crowns. They still got the small, tiny top.
Oh yeah, the little, I forgot what
they go back to damn sick thing and all that. Go back to the
dealing with the top moves and all that shit.
They still wearing suits. Where they border fringes, the border blue.
These are the questions you got to ask yourself, and but at the end of the day, we already know what's up. We have the truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. It makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world, because we know this place is not righteous. We know that those people over there are not the true people. All right? So on and so forth, man. But continuing on, verse 9, that this is a rebellious people, lying children. children that will not hear the law of the Lord. How about Shem Yahushai? Verse 10.
Start with these prophets amongst Israel. 9. Teach false doctrine. So you go down to the average Negro that you don't need to American. Teach false doctrine on any different system.
Verse 10. When say to the seers or the prophets, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceit.
That's what our people want to hear. They don't want to hear the right things because they especially the country's judgment. I know about the great upon us because they want to hear smooth things, prosperity, comfortability, monetary gain. Okay, they're filling up the community. They're living comfortable, man. Okay, which all that, and this time is deceit when it comes to this place of America. You got false prophets that misleading them, giving them that false hope. Okay? That's what I want to hear. Because it's too early. That's why they're going to be ultimately destroyed.
Right. The slain of the Lord shall be many. Isaiah 66, 15 on down to 16, man. And we see it. And we know.
The Lord is bringing judgment on us as a nation now. The people now. They're going into the trouble with these troops. National Guard troops, ICE troops. They ain't even nothing. Yeah, they ain't deployed the UN super soldiers, AI robots, drones, all types of
this is the small matter of the troops.
Yeah, people 21 and 9. They just sharpen the sword, man. Sharpen the sword.
So we're going to read Proverbs 1 and 20 on down to 33 if I'm not mistaken. All right, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse.
They're going to prophesy on the highways and byways. And if we're finished, it's conducted. Okay? So the word to be pushed to all nations. Okay, but mainly to the Negro that you know is Native American. Okay? Mainly the elect is going to take you. If that's how the Lord speaks. Okay, by the way of the prophets, on the highways and byways, and the internet, as the Apostle Elders of Great Millstone always say, we say ourselves as well, we follow it. Okay? The teacher. Okay, and they always say too, the internet as well doing the heavy lifting. Okay? They ain't about to building of a church. Okay, what's the word church means? Called out. Okay? Because of the highways and byways. This word being pushed on the internet. Okay, those that take heed. Okay? The Lord ain't dealing with those churches or temples made by men when it comes to men's hands. Okay? There's a lot of these churches off the world. You got Israelites out there. They can build it, go money, build funds and all that. It's like churches, they didn't teach lies. Okay? Now the Lord said the word will be heard out of highways and byways. Yes. Okay?
Verse 21, she crieth in the chief place of concourse, in the openings of the gate. In the city she uttered her words, saying, how long ye simple ones will ye love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge.
Shut up. Simple. Scorning. And they really hate the knowledge. You know about no shot. I'm coming against the men of Yahweh no shot. The prophet. Lord, the prophet speaks once again. Okay.
Verse 23, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit unto you. I will make known my words unto you. Verse 24, because I have called and ye refuse, I have stretched out my hand and no man regards.
The Lord, the prophet once again. The Lord is calling by the way of the prophet. Okay, but they refuse. And no man regards. Because of those scoffers and scorners. Okay, we out here on a Friday night. Okay, it's business as usual. It's the same message. Consumers, people out there enjoying themselves, party, or being the spirit of birth. They love our people, they walk past
disregard the prophets.
Those that intrigue, okay, but majority of people, when they see the camps out there, they just all now on all camps. Okay, like I said, you got false prophets, false camps. Okay, but the average nigga that kill Native Americans, they see the Hebrew Israelites out there. Okay, seeing people, men and Lord, prophets out there, true prophets, false prophets out there teaching. Majority of people, they fall for scorn. They're not taking heed. Once again, they ain't gonna be no secret that they didn't know about this being Hebrew Israelites. This word has been going forward.
Verse 26. I read 25. But ye have set at naught, verse 25. But ye have set at naught all my counsel and would none of my reproof. Verse 26. I will also laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh.
Especially in the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay. That's what will mock and laugh. Okay.
So there's me. Hey, I'm pretty sure he's gonna be laughing in the heavens as well. All right.
No, laughing at him not.
Exactly. We got him in the deceive and the deceiver are here. Got him in a double whammy, man. Either way, 2/3 were meant to be losers and lose on this side, man. Whether you be part of this truth, whether you be a false camp, or whatever the case may be. That's why we harp it on more and more. You have, in order for you to be saved, you have to be of the elect. All right.
But I don't get that. I don't get that concept. Okay, when it comes to the true way of salvation. Okay, that's why us this man call us to the hope that we chosen. Okay, you see. Okay, knowing the will of the Lord. Okay, that Ephesians chapter 5, verses 14 and 15. Knowing the will of the Lord. Okay.
Verse 26 again. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. Verse 27. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind.
Quick. And once again, that's a beautiful night. Respect it. See how the Lord will bring plagues upon the face of America.
And your destruction cometh as a whirlwind when stress and anguish cometh upon you.
And Yahweh shall say that time will be a lot of people will be gnashing of teeth.
Yep. All because they
for the whole time they want to take heat. Yeah, for the whole time they know the Lord will come in peace, army, gather all nations.
Amos 5 and 18. And on down to 19, warning you that desire the day of the Lord. But one thing is it for you. That is light and not darkness. I mean, that is darkness and not light.
But these bona fide Christians, so you know, a lot of these don't do scripture. They must believe in Christ, what so-called Christ. They read the word, the bad level. Yahweh shall say, we want from Christ. Yahweh shall say that, think not, I've come to send peace, but a sword.
Matthew 10 and 34.
See, I've come to bring fire on the earth. What will it be if it's already kindled? Sure ain't gonna be in a destructive state. The earth gonna be in a destructive state. Especially this place, America. Right before the Lord Yahweh shall come back.
12 and 51. Or 49 on down to 51. All right. Then, like the brother said, setting up the stages of how is it going to be like it when Yahweh shall make his second return. It's going to be, hey, the scriptures say that the righteous shall scarcely be saved. There's going to be some scary times and moments in the planet Earth.
A couple of Christians that leading the rapture, they ain't came. They got all, you know, when it comes to Christianity, all disenchanted and got all sad and disappointed. I bet you now they think, oh shit. It is what it is. Tough time, trials and tribulations.
Can't be going like that, man.
Just like that, everything gonna be good. Now they started to be still in this hell.
Still got to pay bill. And a lot of people, they sold a lot of their shit.
They like saving. Oh.
Yeah. A lot of people sold their fucking kids or some shit from what I heard, allegedly. Giving their kids stuff and whatever. That bitch, she did that for a publicity stuff. That's why I say these people are fucking bugged out. Yeah, most likely. I think or Latino. Anyway, that was her whole line frame. She was waiting on that day, man. Hoping and praying she got beamed up. Come on, man.
You had, I think in we had end of that gave birth to a child. And as soon as she gave birth to him, she gave him over to, I guess, child protection or whatever. And they gave her like $70,000 or something like that. I forgot how much amount of money it was.
Yeah.
She waited that whole 9-10 months for that moment to give her child up.
Basically, yeah, money. Sold her baby. And it's so fucked up because this place so bad. It's either that or fucking kill your baby. It's so bad. At least the baby had an opportunity to live, but look what the motherfucker did. Done sold your own baby, man.
You know what I know? The parable.
Shit bad.
How was that prepared? How about the God prepared when it's ostrich?
Yeah.
Okay, because you know, ostrich know to have eggs, but they know it's a sturdy. They'll step on their own eggs, and you know, they crush them. That's how long prepare our sea monsters. Even the sea monsters drop the breast and give suckling. Yeah. A lot of my people have become cool.
That definitely the nigga woman. You know, especially when they do unalive their babies. You know, their children, look how they do it. Heinously, man. Putting them in the oven. Shit like that.
Often they'll bury their eggs in the sand. You know, they most like they go like this, like birds. They bury their eggs in the sand and leave them there. Forget about it.
And then die off.
Forget about it. Don't even touch it.
That damn show our women, man. Especially the ones that got about 5+ fucking kids.
That's a big thing. You know what the whole give my life to them. Where, you know, they got their children, they got pay on money. I get $1,000 or $3,000 for every child I have.
Let me keep having more. This shit crazy, man.
That was the good 230. A lot of our women.
And sadly, children too. But hey, it's the way how about you now with shopping. Can't do nothing about it. We just hope and pray that we're of the elect. That some of our family members and loved ones can make it. All right.
Yeah, you're gonna have it. They're gonna have to come up with an order of the next week. Our Lord will set it up.
That's right.
Okay, but when we build our people, 2/3 will be men, women, and children. And then the majority of them going to be women. We got more women than men.
Verse 28. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, going into Isaiah 55 and 6, and also Isaiah 34 and 17 or 16. Out of the book. Seek ye out of the book. That was 16. And then the one you quoted was Isaiah 55 and 6. So it says, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. But they that hated knowledge and did not choose the fear of the Lord, Yahweh B'Ashem Yahushai, they would none of my counsel. They despise all my reproof. That's our people, 2/3, man. They're not hearkening to the voice of the Lord, man. That's all right. The Lord's gonna fucking slaughter them. 31. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. For the turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools shall destroy them. Verse 33. But whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safely and shall be quiet from fear of evil.
Part of it. Right. When it comes to the 144,000, 1/3, that's what you say. House of David. Okay? Part of it. And also says in chapter 16, verses 7, throughout going into how the Lord in time of trouble. Okay? Majority of our people, man, all we can just see there and just prepare for the struggle. Like the brothers are doing it, is that when it comes to these times, man, you can't, get into your emotions like, damn, how did that happen? Yeah, they got just more and more folks to lock in, because we already know the times.
It's definitely gonna happen.
Like I said earlier, we're looking at our own stock being the Lord continue to be with us, especially in times ahead. More important, the time to give us trouble, come out, even to the time of salvation. It's about over with. It's about over with. Time now. He said, man, seek the Lord while he may be found. When it comes to the men of Yahweh, outside, out there teaching truly and sincerely, and the word being put on the internet, while everything's still available. Okay? Like, Romans 11, 13 and 11. But high time to wake out of sleep, salvation is nearer than what we believe. Okay? So we go ahead and close out the class, open up with, we're going to close out by giving all praises for the truth.
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Wadash.
Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, the great millstone that teach and that rule well today. And peace and salutation also to the fellow laborers that's in the ministry and the believers that scatter worldwide and all truth and sincerity day in and day out. Until next time, Lord willing, shalom to the hopeful elect.
Shalom to the elect.
Shalom.